Hey YouTube, it's echobear, and today I want to review for you guys one of the most original ideas for an app I've seen in a really long time. It's called Earthworm Alchemy. So before I get talking about this app and why I think it's so original, because I haven't seen anything like it before, let's start with serious stuff. So Earthworm Alchemy is made by Team Signal LLC. If that name sounds familiar, that's because I also review Team Signal's app Hypersquare. Now I'm not even going to be comparing these two because they're completely different. There's nothing similar between the two, night and day. They're staying away from each other. There's nothing similar. We're not talking about it. Back to Earthworm Alchemy. The alchemists receive a mysterious package containing an earthworm and a cryptic note that reads, "The road to true happiness lies beneath 50 centimeters. Whatever that means. There's only one way to find out. Raise your worm to incredible lengths and embark on a fantastic downward journey to unravel a deep story that lies far beneath the soil." Basically, that's it. What this app also offers, that they say in their description, is increase your length. Feed your earthworm to increase maximum length, but watch out for bombs. Deck out your worm. Cover it in swag to show your friends on the internet how amazing you are. Collect them all. Go where no worm has gone before to find its ultimate form. Features: a tale of self-discovery, over 60 levels of frantic worm feeding, over 50 fashion combinations, 16 collectible species including a super ultra rare one, leaderboards, fancy photos, optimized for iPhone 4S and above, iPad 2 and above, iPad mini and above, iPod 5. And they also put this in their description, which I honestly love because they're being honest. Please note, Earthworm Alchemy is a free-to-play game, but it contains items that can be purchased with real money. This function can be turned off/on in the restrictions menu in your device settings. That's actually really cool. Most things are just whatever, leave it. And that is actually really good to give this app to your kids because they can go play on it. You can turn off this and they can't just dump $100+ on an app that they don't need to. So that's definitely good. That's definitely a plus for if you want to get this game for younger children. This app is actually really beautiful for younger children. Let me get the glasses off. This app is really beautiful for younger children because it's really simple, it's really fun, it's really silly and dorky, it's everywhere. I love it. It's so cute. Cute and creepy in a weird way. I don't know. Let's get started. So the way that Earthworm starts out is just your tiny little worm. It tells you step by step how to do it. First of all, I'm going to be reviewing this as if I were getting it for a kid, because obviously it's not directed towards anyone in my age group. Definitely feel like this is marketed towards younger kids. It's very simple. It does kind of handhold, which I don't usually like, but for something as weird as this and as confusing a concept as this, I actually kind of appreciated it because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was completely lost, but then it was like, oh, here, do this. And I was like, okay, now I can do this. The app starts out really simple. It leads you through, it has you collecting specific type of bubbles and avoiding bombs, which is really kind of cool. Very simple. Your worm upgrades itself very simply, actually. You get points for the different kinds of worms you get. Now I literally sound like I'm just spouting gibberish, but in the context of this game, it makes sense. You start out by feeding your worm simple bubbles. The worm will eat those until it gets to the level cap, and then it'll tell you need more food. So then you have to upgrade it. How do you upgrade it, you ask? As you grow your worm, you get new different types of worms that will give you a certain amount of gems. And as far as I saw, I didn't get any bombs while I was growing my worm, so I was just able to pay for things as I got them. There was very little time waiting, little time wasted. It was very much you're progressing at this rate, here's what you need. There wasn't any clashing, there's not any grinding that you need to get through, and it's not frustrating, which is amazing. Because a lot of things where it's oh, you can only get this far, and then you have to get this thing. Usually there's a gap in between those, which is frustrating and grindy. You don't have to do this in this one. Both of those line up perfectly, and it's moving on as fast as you can. And there are penalties to this game too. If you need a bomb, the number designated on the bomb, either 1 to 10 or 20 even, is how many centimeters you lose on your worm. Which, it even doesn't even paint it in that bad of a light. It's if you want to start over, grow a new worm, just 8 bombs. There's a lot to this game. And even when you get a bomb, it isn't a total loss because it frees the different types of worms that you've grown, and you get to see them in all their whoa, face glory. That is literally the face they make. Just constant terrified, open, huge eye, open mouth, that kind of face. It's very weird, but also kind of endearing at the same time. but you free them and you get worm tokens. So in the future when you get a bomb and you really don't want to lose that length, you can spend worm tokens and get token power, which is literally how it's spelled. So don't give me crap for that. You get token power and it will regain as many centimeters as you asked it to. So it's a hindrance and a help at the same time depending on how you want to view it. And as you go, you unlock different types of worms. Like it said, there are different types of worms and there's different ways to get the types of worms. Because at first you can only start out getting regular worms, and then there's rare, super rare, ultra rare types of worms, and it gives you a guide to all of that. Which is really kind of cool because you can be in the same area and be like, I really want to get the banana worm, and then get a like turnip worm or whatever. Not a sentence I ever thought I'd be saying. It's really kind of endearing in that way. It's very weird but also really kind of fun. Because I never thought of combining produce with worms or swords with worms. There's a lot of weird things happening in this app, but I really do like it. There's also a thing, once you unlock all the food, you can start unlocking like hats and different features for your worms, which is really kind of cool. You can make it look like a punk rocker or a geisha with gigantic anime eyes. I personally, my best score is getting to 70 centimeters, but even so, it still continues after that. The deepest you can possibly get right now is 102 centimeters. Which is really crazy to me because the farthest I've ever gotten is 72. There's also a way to unlock the different types of worms is like through crystals, which you also unlock through getting gems, which you just get through playing the game. Like everything stacks on top of each other. Like you can get everything just through playing the game using your little woohoo worm to collect the little food bubbles. There are 3 different types of crystals that you can unlock that help you get different types of worms. Now the tutorial even walks you through this and will explain it better than I will. But different types attract different kinds of worms. Rare type of gem, rare type of worm. Simple. You get Lucky Shard, Blue Crystal, and Royal Crystal, which all look cool. Like it doesn't do much to the gameplay other than let you get new worms and you get to see how cool those are. There's a bonus to getting rare worms because you get more gems from them, but it doesn't affect the overall gameplay because everything lines up really well. Now that I've talked about all the unlockable stuff, I'm going to talk about the actual gameplay. I mentioned it before, but your worm grows and gets longer through eating little food bubbles. Now that's really easy. Usually they show up in a pattern that's really easy to follow, but you also have to avoid bombs. How do you do that? Well, the way you control your worm is you push and hold on your phone to make it rise and release to let it fall. And you gotta time that so you don't eat the bombs or bombs don't fly into your worm's mouth. And they explode and they cry and everything's sad. That's how you progress. Each little thing has a certain amount of food that you need to eat to progress to the next level, and each level has a different pattern. So it's continuously changing, it's continuously getting harder. They also throw in different mechanics as you go in that they don't give you a tutorial for. So randomly there will just be ice crystals flying at you and you're like, I don't know, which slows your worm down. It's very hard. Like, it is definitely a challenging game, but honestly, I think this would be a lot of fun for a little kid to play. Most of the time, I do play this app on mute because there's a lot of conflicting sounds as far as this app goes, because there's the music, the sound your worm makes, the sound your worm makes when it eats stuff, and the sound of, like, things hitting your worm. So that's a lot of different sound effects all happening at one time, so it gets kind of headachy. I don't really like the sounds that go along with it. Like, the music by itself is good, but when you start adding in all of those different sound effects, it's like, it's like, it becomes overwhelming. But overall, this is a really fun game. Like, I don't play it a whole bunch, but I definitely think that a little kid would have a lot of fun with this game. Because it's like, it's discovery, it's really simple, it's not something that they can get easily frustrated with. So it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it for little kids or big kids. If you want to check it out, hey, definitely do that. I recommend this one, so definitely check it out. And that's all I have to say on this app, guys. Make sure you like and comment down below, hit subscribe, and share the video. Because if nobody sees the video, I can't keep doing these. So if you like them, let me know. If you don't like them, let me know what I should do different. Also suggest apps or CDs that you'd like me to do. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye! I thought the bird was going to fly into my window. I got scared for a second. Sorry about that.